guys, my name is JGriffiths. I just want to thank you for coming today. We're going to do a quick little workshop on meditation. So first off, let's start off talking about meditation. Who has done meditation before?
I have.
You have, Kelly? Tell me
Yes.
about your experience.
I did a bit of more mindfulness with my students. They're about 6 and 7 years old.
Okay.
So
Young ones.
more of that, and I've done a bit on my own, more of a guided
Okay.
type meditation. I find it really, really challenging to be in the moment because
Mhm.
my mind is always racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And a lot of people talk about, a lot of people don't practice meditation because of that.
Yeah.
Because they try maybe once or twice and then they find that it's hard to become focused and then they just throw it away. But what meditation is a practice. It's something that takes time to develop a skill, just like anything else. Diane, what's your experience with meditation?
I just did some earlier, in my 20s, early 30s, through different workshops and yoga, and while I was pregnant with my kids at the community center over here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so yoga isn't a form of meditation. There is a form of yoga that does a lot of meditation. It's called Kundalini, and it's more of a physical practice of meditation. I've tried it a little bit. It's also quite challenging. But most yoga classes do integrate a small meditative period at the end. They call it Shavasana.
Yes.
So what we want to talk today about is the benefits of meditation, and a lot of people in this day and age struggle with stress. So the whole idea that stress kind of runs our lives, we spend a lot of time not being in the present. Kelly, you talked a little bit about doing meditation where you were practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the study or the practice of being present. So one of the things that meditation can help deal with is stress. So before we had this class, I sent you guys a link, and you both did the inventory that talked about all the questions to do with stress. So the scores range from 0 to 40. And Diane, what was your score?
16.
Wow, were you surprised by that? That was in the
Yes.
moderate range,
Yeah.
right? But like almost in the not stressed range.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's because I'm on summer vacation and things just kind of, really. But
So it's not that, where they say it's the most wonderful time. Not yet.
yeah. So it could change come when I go back to work and I'm in a new grade and new students and that kind of thing. And I guess I've learned how to just manage stresses and in at home, which is where I am most in the summer.
Okay, and Kelly, what was your score?
21.
Oh wow. So where was that?
So stressed.
Bordering on more stressed?
No, it was. I think it was like in the middle of
Okay.
moderate.
So you're right in
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that you struggle with stress?
I think so. I think it just depends. It depends on where I am and what I'm doing. Like I do find that I would say like in the past couple of years I find it harder to manage. Whereas I know the things that any circumstances that would have arisen a couple of years ago I would have handled differently.
Right.
And probably with more patience and that kind of thing. So I definitely notice a difference.
Well, and practicing meditation can help with patience and focus and managing stress and all those things. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today. Before the lesson, I also sent you guys a handout. And on that handout, we talked about the learning objectives for our session today. So we have 3 objectives. The first one is I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of meditation and the types of practice. We'll go through that. We're going to have a little short practice meditation session. And then I'm going to give you some homework. We're going to actually practice meditation every single day for 5 days.
Right.
Okay, and see how that helps with some of these things. So why would we meditate? On our handout, we talk about the different goals. Talk about anxiety, stress management, helping to improve concentration. So that can be a great benefit. Also helps us to improve our memory and focus. And I think kind of back to that whole idea of mindfulness and presence. When we're not in the present, it's very difficult to focus on things. Another benefit of meditation is having better relationships. So being more focused on helping others and being with others when we're present. Also muscle, a lot of people struggle or have difficulties with like headaches or difficulties with sleep or chronic pain. So meditation can help with all of those things. So let's just flip back and talk a little bit about the history of meditation. So meditation goes back thousands and thousands of years. It first started in India, and it was developed primarily as a religious practice, and it has been over the years. And you may know of different religious sects that practice a lot of meditation. The Buddhists are very big on meditation. Also, there's Zen meditation. It also has its roots in Judaism and also Christianity. So really, I would say all the major religions in the world have used meditation at one time or another. An interesting fact that I learned in my research for this is that some monks, so Buddhist monks, they practice so much meditation that they've gotten to a place where they don't need to sleep. So they're actually at such a state in their mindfulness or whatever the benefit of meditation is that they don't need to sleep. So it can really have some great benefits, although I don't know if we need to get, or we'll ever get to the place where we don't need sleep. But if we do get there. So I want to talk a little bit about the types of meditation. So Kelly mentioned one, mindfulness. So that's kind of it can be a guided meditation where there's a speaker and it takes you through a whole process. And it can be of different subjects. Like I do some meditation on, like just getting ready for the workday. So I do a guided meditation that kind of sets me up, clears my mind for that. But there's also a kind of physical, did I talk about Kundalini already?
A little bit.
I did talk about it a little bit. Okay, sorry. And so we talked about mindfulness, and then also another type of meditation is called progressive muscle relaxation. So that's where the speaker will take you through certain parts of the body and help you to tense and relax and fully relax yourself during that meditation. So those are the history of meditation, the different types of meditation. So now we're going to actually practice some meditation. So on our worksheets, we've got some instructions. So we'll go through this quickly right now, and then we're going to do a little practice. But when you're doing your homework, you might reference that worksheet in kind of helping you to prepare for your daily meditation. And what they recommend is that you do meditation at the same time every day. I choose to do it in the morning. Some people like to do it at night. It helps them prepare for sleep. But it all depends on what your needs are. Many people start with a very short meditation, a minute, or maybe even less depending on your focus, and you can build yourself up. Some of the most practiced meditators might meditate 30 to 60 minutes at a time, but that wouldn't be something that you'd want to start out with. You want to start out with just a very short practice meditation, and like today we're going to do 1 minute. So if you want to get ready, get yourself set up, get yourself in a comfortable seated position. You may close your eyes if you choose to, or not, depending on what you're comfortable with. Hands in your lap. And if I'm going to get this ready. So everybody's comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start the meditation.
What
sorry to disrupt your slumber. And the other thing I didn't mention is when you do your meditation, you want to try and do it in the same place and hopefully free of distractions. Sometimes that's unavoidable, and I know you two have young children, and sometimes it's hard to get to a place where you're not going to have distractions. So if there is any way that you can do that when you're doing your practice. So let's talk a little bit about your experience. How was it? What did you think?
It's nice to just take a moment and close my eyes and just relax and focus on breath.
I found it challenging.
Did you?
I could hear so many things.
Right.
And so, we're in a neighborhood, and so I'm like, who is that? I don't know that voice. And that's what I was, and then I was like, no, I'm here. And I think, I remember one time in another course that I took, somebody just said, but you realizing that you are bringing yourself back, that's being mindful, and that's part of meditating also. So I kept just telling myself, I'm doing your thing. I'm here, I'm breathing. And so I found it very hard though. And so I think when you say you have to be in the right space, free with distractions, you're right, you do.
For sure. But the other thing to that is I've found in my experience that there is no perfect place or perfect time, you know what I mean? And that things are going to happen. And the thing about meditation is not to be perfectly clear. That's not going to be, it's a very difficult thing to do. Now maybe these monks that are practicing in the hills can do that or whatever. Yeah. But the average everyday person is not going to be able to clear their mind. So what it is just a matter of just coming back. Like you said, exactly what you said is just kind of pulling yourself back. Oh, there's a noise, there's a bird. Oh, pull myself back. And that's going to happen, and it's supposed to happen. Like what I think sometimes in my mind is like, well, that's supposed to happen. And I don't really need to think about it. Yeah. I just need to come back here. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Try not to get annoyed about it and just continue on with my practice.
I found, sorry to interrupt,
yeah, go ahead.
I found the noise, I did hear the noise and I did one, but I did the same thing, and it was just, concentrate back on what's going on.
And you find, you know what, when you get good at this, you can do it. Like you can do it in a noisy place. Yesterday I was with some little kids, and I just decided to kind of settle down for a minute and do a little, and I was zoning out, and they were just playing around me. But that was something that has taken a lot of practice, and I try to do it every day, and I've been doing it for a couple of years now. So there are benefits, and I've been able to realize those.
I like what you said though when you said you have to just let it go, because I think that's what I find hard. I'm like, oh, I just ruined it, but
there is
no
not
ruining it, and it's just
no
actually
ruining.
trying. I think, and that's what I have to just remind myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And cut yourself a little bit of slack, because nothing is perfect, and you're not perfect. And doing meditation doesn't mean it's always perfect. It's not. It's a practice, just like anything else. So we talked a little bit about how you felt. Now let's just, we're going to talk about our follow-up. So I'm going to give you guys some homework. I want you to download the app called Insight Timer. It's free. You're going to practice meditation for 5 days. So every day, starting tomorrow, whatever time you choose, you can choose an app from there. You can do 1 minute. You can try 5 minutes and see how you do. I find now 5 minutes just goes like that. But in the beginning it might be harder. But practice every single day, 5 days in a row, and try and choose the same time. And I'm going to post some questions and some comments in the discussion board, and I'm going to ask you to check in every day and tell us a little bit about your experience. Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. So we've covered off on all the subject matter and the exercises for today. So just to summarize, we talked a little bit about what you guys knew about meditation. You knew a lot more than I thought, so that was interesting. Talked about your stress and where you're at, and both of you were really good, but you felt like maybe September things could change around a little bit. Talked about the history of meditation, some goals, and then we actually had a chance to practice it. So moving on, we're going to get you guys into trying it and see how that works. And that's all that I have to cover for today. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.